to give his life as a ransom for many. As you step into this new chapter, I pray you feel the impact your work has had on countless others. Take time to reflect proudly on all you have accomplished. Relish and rest, and enjoy this new time to be spent with family and friends. Please know that you always have a champion in me, and do not hesitate to let my office know how we may ever be of service to you. Keep the faith and keep looking up. U.S. Senator Reverend Raphael Warnock.
Thank you all so much. Thank you. We appreciate you. Mr. Clark, I thought you were going to get into some good details. When I say little, you say Earlene, little. Little. And for those of you who know, it is 9 o'clock. You know, nothing gets in the way of 9 o'clock. So y'all say hello to Friday Night Live. Hello, everybody. See all these folks? And so for those of you who are wondering, we're here celebrating the retirement celebration of little Earlene Wesley Davis. When I say little, you say Earlene, little. Little. We now welcome up our superintendent, well, I always my superintendent, Dr. Marie Ann Levette, a native Savannaian, and is someone who has a distinguished career of public service. And like her, I hear me, Linda Wilder Bryan, it must be. So they're very, very similar. So Dr. Levette decided to retire too. And she was going to go off and live a life of luxury, but you cannot let people with that skill level just sit at home. So I appointed her to the Housing Authority Board, and now she is our chair. Dr. Levette.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I will start by asking the commissioners to please come forward with me, and also Mrs. Bronner, if you'll join me here, I would greatly appreciate it. Commissioner Days, Commissioner Holland, Commissioner Guzman did come forward, and I offer apologies for Commissioner Gresham, who is unable to join us. Mrs. Bronner will also come forward wherever she may be. Thank you so much. If you are a current member of the staff or a past member of the staff, if you would please stand while we make this special presentation. Thank you so much for your cooperation. Mayor Johnson, speakers, family members, friends, co-workers, and associates have shared both publicly and privately, and will continue to share their gratitude, Mrs. Davis, for your years of hard work, for your tough decision-making, for your compassion, your dedication, and your commitment to making the lives of constituents better. Your legacy of service, as we have all discussed, will continue to bear fruit long after you leave that office near Wheaton Street. Tonight, we congratulate you on a stellar career of public service. Chief among your reflections has been your reflections on a very special project for the Housing Authority of Savannah. It bears repeating, as the mayor said. This former resident of West Savannah said, "I could not have imagined when I started first grade and walked by and through Fellwood Homes on my way to Moses Jackson Elementary School that I would be the director of the Housing Authority of Savannah, and that this Housing Authority would be playing a major role in the transformation of West Savannah." That work, no matter who you talk to, no matter when you talk to them about Earlene, she is going to talk about that project. She's very proud of it. Sustainable Fellwood, of course, has served as a principal component of the City of Savannah's West Side developmental Development Revitalization Plan. And as the mayor said, it is widely considered a national showcase for environmentally responsible community planning. Sustainable Fellwood continues to be a point of pride for you, Mrs. Davis, for West Savannah, for our city, and for us all. So us, the little people that you talk about and know about, Ernie knows about everybody. We think that as you welcome this promise of newfound freedom, this promise of self-exploration, and this time of well-earned respite and leisure, and celebrate your reprieve from the rigors of daily routine, the staff and the board members wish to offer you a gift, which represents one of the proudest moments of your career. So we're going to ask the commissioners, Mr. Clark and Mrs. Bronner, to please unveil a very special memento that we wish to share with you. Mr. Clark and Mr. Days, please bring that forward so she'll have an opportunity to take a very special look at it.
Oh, wow.
This is our gift that we hope you will place prominently to remember that very special moment in your career. Congratulations. And now y'all know Mrs. Davis is a big crybaby too. So when the mayor says she was crying at the meeting, that's not the only place. But it definitely represents the joy that we all feel about the contributions that she's made. And the staff and the commissioners have been fortunate to work with you, but the residents have been the greatest recipients of your kindness, your tough decision-making, and your love for us all. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and I really want the ugly cry. I really want. When I say little, you say Earlene. Little. Earlene. Little. Earlene. So before I take my seat and get on Friday Night Live for real, if you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating. And yet, don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same. If you could bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make us trap for fools, or watch the things you give your life for to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginning, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will that says to them, hold on. If you can walk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings and not lose a common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men can count with you but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiven minute with 60 seconds worth of distant run, Yours is the earth and everything that's in it. And what is more, you will be Earlene Wesley Davis. When I say little, you say Earlene. When I say little, you say Earlene. Ladies and gentlemen, our honoree, Earlene Wesley Davis. Ugly cry, ugly cry, ugly cry. Go ahead. Thank you.
When I knew that I was going to make comments, I was trying to decide what I would say. And I didn't write anything down because gathered in this room tonight are people who've known me before I was born. Someone who went to kindergarten with me. Classmates from Moses Jackson Elementary, from Mercer, from Tompkins, and my friend Teeny from Scott, and my church members, people I went to Sunday school with. And we were in that swinging, slamming junior choir at Townsend Chapel in the church. We raised the roof on Sunday. Some of my current church members, friends that I've worked with. Tina, don't cry. You're gonna make me cry. But it feels more like mealtime when I was growing up. My parents insisted that we have breakfast together on Saturday morning and dinner after Sunday. We didn't have a choice about Sunday school and church. We had to go. And who can forget among us the famous meal we had on Saturday morning? What was it? Tomato soup.
Weenies and grits.
With weenies
And grits.
grits and biscuits. My mom and dad knew how to feed all of us on very little money. And when I was thinking back about the people who influenced me, my number one influence was my mom. She was not even 5 feet tall. The most patient, kind person you ever wanted to meet. Because in addition to taking care of all of us, we had 3 little rugrats that hung out at our house all the time. Stand up, you know who you are. Don't make me call your names because I'll use nicknames. Stand up. Okay, Dynamite. Ricky. Dynamite is Cheryl. Ricky is Noel, and she's my oldest niece, so I'll just say Angela. They were there all the time. They didn't know how to go home. But my mom didn't make them. And then my mom had a sister who had 12 children. And my baby cousin, Maxine, who looks just like my mother's sister, is here from South Carolina. And when my sister hit puberty, and my daddy wanted to make sure she made it through school okay, I got shipped off to the country with the country cousins because of my sister. But that's the kind of family I grew up in. And then we had neighbors who would tell on you and not fear retaliation. Right? Okay, so we had to be close. And then there were other family members, like double cousins, you know, with people from the country, and the cousin marries a cousin. Now he's not a child of incest. Stand up, Daryl. And you leave him. Daryl is a double cousin. And then another one is Sharita. Stand up, Sharita. People you related every time you look around. They were in the family. And just friends throughout the years who have helped to keep me centered. I know Lan wants me to cry.
It's coming.
People I went to college with, who I worked with here and in other states. Stand up, Ms. Mary. Stand up, Mary. We went to college. We started out as defects together, and we worked together in Florida. And Connell Stiles, who was my first office partner, stand up, please, at defects. If you don't, I'll tell the year. It's called motivation. Say again? And then, thank you, my baby brother. One lady said to me a few years ago, I remember you, you're one of the twins. She said, yeah, Paul and Pauline. So my brother Paul and his wife Beverly, who are here from Atlanta, he taught me how to tie my shoes, because my oldest sister said she was going to tear my tail up. Because he used to tie my shoes for me. Because he loved me that much, and he still does. And he taught me how to do that. And he was also one of the most inquisitive people we ever met. We called him what, Leon?
Professor Gizmo.
That's right.
So rough and ready.
So, right? And my brother Leon, who I think, how old was he, Lil, when he stood up in the bed and y'all tried to knock him down? He said,
I'm a
"Oh,
man."
So his nickname is
Man.
So somebody said, I know stories, yes. Oh, and I forgot, you're going live on Facebook, so now people know. And I'm not going to bring my older sister out. She has a nickname too.
Be careful, girl.
Out of respect for her, I won't do that. And my dad's baby sister, Aunt Ella, her daughter is here, Sheila. We had a nickname for her, but I won't call her. You know, sometimes when you grow up with people, they fight words. And my cousin Thomas, my Uncle John's son, his daughter Dee Dee. We'll leave it at Dee. And my other nieces who are in the house tonight, another Dee Dee, Karen, Robin, Sharon. Oh, and Tam, I'm sorry. She likes to tease me. When my sister-in-law Earlene was pregnant, I begged her not to have the baby until I got back from a trip. She was born 2 days before my birthday. She's been a thorn in my side. But I just want to say, I was telling you about the inspirations of my life. My mom, who was the kindest person you ever wanted to meet.
Yes, she was.
One year, a family that lived near us had an unfortunate incident, and my parents fed that woman and her 8 children for 1 year. She prepared a meal, 2 meals for them a day. And Paul, you and Cheryl remember, we didn't want all those kids in the house, so we said, Mama, please just let us take the food to them. But we fed them, and my daddy and my mom never asked for 1 minute. This was before food stamps or anything else, where neighbors took care of each other. The other inspiration was my dad, who showed us what hard work is. He missed 2 days from work on a job where he worked for 38 years because he had an industrial accident. He went to the hospital, got stitches. The next day, he missed 1 day. He was back. He said, I have too many mouths to feed to stay home. And then there's this little booger. This was one rough little fellow. Weren't you, baby? Stand up, Kevin. That's my God baby. When his mom couldn't take it, my good friend Barbara, she said, Early, please, I'd go by and get him and take him home. And Kevin is my big baby. How old are you now, Kevin? 51? Don't answer. But I look around this room and I have somebody said I know everybody. I have something to share about just about everybody in here. And another inspiration, 2 others in my life. One, my brother-in-law Howard. He has a master's in social work, but he started out as a juvenile probation officer right? Locking kids up in Savannah, and then he went off. But I remember when I was in grad school, he was invited to speak at a conference, and the title of his speech, you might not even remember, was Everything You Wanted to Know About Social Work or Afraid to Ask. And in that speech, he challenged all of us who were there to go out and see social work as more than just what we had imagined it to be. And he ran for office. And he was elected mayor in 1969. The first mayor, let me get it right, elected of a predominantly white town since Reconstruction. And he went on to be a state senator. He's an educator, and he was secretary for the State Department of Natural Resources. And it was his vision to have a rails, no, that's ours,
Trail.
Hiking trail.
hiking trail from one end of North Carolina to the other, and it has come to fruition. And just recently, they named the intermodal transportation system in Chapel, North Carolina for my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law. I was take transportation to Chapel Hill. They did not have a bus system. He went to Atlanta, Georgia. He bought a bus and he drove it back to Chapel Hill, and that was the first hour CAT in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Expanded water so that it could expand the housing. There were 12,500 residents in Chapel Hill at the time, but most of the resources were not coming to the residents because of the colonies. And then there's my friend Billy, who was on the search committee to hire a director at DFACS. I think you might have been a member then. You later became, Mayor Johnson later became the chair. But I remember after the interview, you might not even remember Billy. You came out and she said, "Girl, you tore that thing up." And you started, he said, I was so proud. Because it was a proud moment. Because we went to Savannah State. When they integrated middle schools in Savannah, Billy went to, I think you left Johnson, went to Savannah High. I left Tompkins, where 10 of my brothers and sisters had gone. You know, I broke tradition, but I did go for 1 year. But we were some of the pioneers in Savannah in doing that. And Solomon, did you? Oh no, you were at BC, right? You went to Benedictine. He was one of his dad was my math teacher. We loved Mr. Myers. He was so nice and so good. The other influence was my sister Jackie. And tomorrow will be 2 years of her sudden and unexpected death. And it hit all of us hard. We still can't believe it. But she went to school in social work as well. So between Howard and Jackie, it was the social work. My parents, my dad who knew how to discipline all of us, and none of us went on the juvenile. That's what we used to call it back then. Nobody had to go to detention. Now, during the Civil Rights Demonstration, I think Howard locked up. Did he lock you up, Leon? Yeah. Leon, Ben, and Jackie demonstrated for civil rights in Savannah. But this is a very proud moment, and I am so glad to share it with each of you. I didn't call my friend Barbara by name, but Barbara and I have been the best of friends since we were in, I don't even remember when we were. When? A long time. We're both getting our Social Security. That's as much as And I walked, this young lady, a police officer, walked into my office one day, and before she could open her mouth, I said, "I know your mama. You look just like her." And now she's a major with the Savannah Police Department, and her mom, Shirley, who was in high school with us, is here tonight. I could go around and tell a story about everybody in here. If I've left anybody out and you want me to tell a story, raise your hand.
Rob just
Rob.
raised his hand.
Takers?
Rob raised his hand.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say that. When, Rob and I decided that we wanted to, well, he wanted to marry me, and I said, yeah, I wanna marry you too. I said, you have to go, I was living in Kansas, you have to go to Savannah and ask my dad for my hand in marriage. And he goes, what? I said, yes. So we flew to Savannah. My daddy always carried a gun. He was raised in, if you knew my dad, you knew he had a gun. He was raised in the country. So Rob was at the house, Daddy came in and sat down. He always carried it in his back pocket. My daddy put the gun down. He was patting me and he said, you know, Earle's my favorite. He scared him so bad it took him 2 days. 2 days, but he and my dad got to be the best of friends. I told him about my family. I said, my oldest sister is, you know, we knew Bunny was Bunny. She looked at him and she said, I don't see what's so much about you or something. I told him my brother Henry, who loved everybody, and his daughters, Sharon and, what's your name? Sharon and Dee are here tonight. I said, my brother will hug you and he will kiss you on your cheek. And that's what he does. So when he did, because they don't do that in Virginia. He kissed him and Rob said, your brother kissed me. I said, I tried to. And all my nieces and nephews, what do y'all call him?
Uncle Rob.
Uncle Rob. And then what do you ask him for? So it's a running joke, but my family accepted Rob because he was my choice. And not everybody can say that. So I know I've kind of gone all around the horn, but this is really special to be in a room of people that I feel such a close connection to. And Marty, who I can go to whenever I have to get to the mayor, because he's always everywhere, all the time, back. Did I say that? Did I say that? When I say man, you say?
Oh, okay.
This is fun. I know we had a time limit, but I'm not going to retire once. And I appreciate all of you coming out to indulge with me. And staff, thank you so much for this beautiful rendering of Felwood Homes to show what can be and a part of the community. And then there was a little fella, his nickname now is Heavy. You knew I was going to get to you, Greg. He was just a little fella, and now Greg and I are very active in the West Savannah Community Organization. We grew up in West Savannah, and we're still doing what we can to make West Savannah great. And Cecil Wilkerson, who loves to be called what? Cecil. That I went to middle school with. And he's with the Salvation Army, and we work together on a lot of things, and his wife, Sharon. And my friend, Marsha Buford, who is the almost a senator, speaking into existence, the 8th District Commissioner. She will take her seat on the Chatham County Commission along with our, okay, January, not November, thank you. Along with our chairman who will be re-elected, Chester Ellis. And then the employees at the next table, and a friend of mine who people call Mr. Clean. Can y'all guess who that is? Can Mr. Clean stand up? Can Mr. Clean stand up? This is Harry and his wife. And then we have Rafaela and Robert, who has overseen the finances of the Housing Authority for more than 30 years. And a person that I never thought I would call a friend. I'm just gonna be straight with you. Carol Bell.
We did have a drink.
I got to know Carol really well, working on the United Negro College from mayors. The mayor agreed to host. And the first year, we were kind of struggling. We get 50,000, right? Yes. I should be asking Justine, because Carol was like, what? 50,000. Second year, 75. And this past year, how much was it?
Over 100.
Over 100,000. And my friend on city council who says, crow doesn't taste like chicken. and she said, I had to eat crow because she had a wrong impression of me, and now she's one of my biggest supporters. And then there's Dana. We've only had one major falling out. I'll tell you what it was about. What do you call 1,000 lawyers at the bottom of the ocean? A good start. But it was in front of some other people, and so he thought it was disrespectful. I thought it was funny. So we got past that. And then my friend Ronald, can I call you your nickname? No, okay. Ronald Wallace, you know him as WTOC's weatherman. Yes. So
Jay.
just thank you all so very much.
Jay.
I got them. If I didn't call your name, and Mike Trainer, who I met when I came back to Savannah, he was with the newspaper, and they used to run the stockings, empty stocking fund. I don't even think they do that anymore since everything's electronic. But with stories of families at defects of need and the Newspapers Corporation, it was wonderful. And our former city manager, don't think I don't see you over there, assistant city manager, I'm sorry, I elevated you, Israel. Israel?
Assistant over there is me.
Right out of West Savannah.
That's
Another
right.
West Savannah person off of McIntyre Street. All right? And to wrap this up, my babies and my grandbabies, will y'all please stand? Robert Daniel Davis IV, and he's holding Robert Daniel Davis V and his wife Crystal. My son James Wesley Davis and his wife Shalakia, and my grandbaby who is she just petered out. It was a long day for her. And my sisters-in-law, Daisy Wesley, Beverly Johnson Wesley. You might remember Beverly, I think you were the first black news anchor in Savannah. Yes, she was the first black news anchor in Savannah a long, long time ago, and now we have several. So you all, thank you so much. My pastor, I love him to death. His name is Charles, but I call him Junior. And my friends, next door neighbors growing up, Carolyn and Christine. I won't call her nickname, she gets mad, she's vicious. And two of my church members, one I call my sister-in-law because of the love she has for my family, and another who I've known, but I won't call his nickname either. I could make some money, and then, you want me to pass the hat?
I want you to write a book.
No. Well, if I don't call you, it's probably because I can't see you all the way back there. But I want to send a special thanks to the committee that planned this affair. It is more than I could have imagined. When I walked into this room, it is so beautifully decorated. And I'm not talking about the flowers, I'm talking about you all. The flowers pale in comparison to the people in this room tonight. To my sister, who I sometimes fired every other week, but she has stuck with me. She keeps coming back. And we share a bond. Some folks don't understand it, but Tammy Altizer Bronner, would you please stand? And Miss Brenda Collin. I call her Betty Boop. Is she still there? Stand up, Miss Collin. Thank you. And any other staff member who assisted, I know we had Lynn, I get the last name right tonight, Lynn Coleman, who greeted you as you walked in. Thank you for indulging me. And a young man, he's like a bad penny, and he calls me auntie, but he's not related to me at all. He keeps coming back. That's you, Desi. Don't look around. You know what I'm talking about. Stand up. Stand up. He's a very, very nice young man. So, I'm not crying, but I am so full. Because this is so wonderful. And I don't know the words to express my appreciation, because you could have been anywhere else on a Friday night, but you chose to be here. And some of you came from some great distances to be here to share with me. Joe, I didn't forget you. We worked together trying to get that grocery store in West Savannah. We haven't given up. We did get it for a minute. And then, I won't call the name of the chain food line. They didn't stay very long. So, my sister Sarah is not able to be with us tonight. She fractured her upper thigh. Had to have some surgery, and so she's not comfortable moving around. And my brother Ben, who had to accompany his wife for an out-of-state occasion. And my daughters who are not here because they stayed with their mom because of some pending surgery that she had. And my son who zigged when he should have zagged. But you know what I mean. We're going to keep him in prayer. So thank you all. Baby, you want to say anything?
I remember I was watching TV the other day. President Obama said, "I'm so in love." I want to tell y'all why I'm up here. So, for the last about 4 or 5 years, earlier been talking about the cat. So I have an Uncle Roscoe. So Uncle Roscoe, he was on the farm, and he said, "I'm gonna stop farming." So he stopped, but his wife kept working. And the people would come in the house and they said, "Maggie, when you gonna stop working?" And Uncle Roscoe would say, "Hold up now. If my wife wanna work, you better work." So people would say, "Rob, Erling, you need to stop working. When you gonna stop working?" And I said, "Hold up."
No.
My wife wanna keep working, let her work. And then I got tired of saying that because, I grew up, I can't stop working until she stopped working. So I'm saying, amen. Amen. Now, you know it's time. I want to say congratulations. It's time. But you don't have to stop working.
Did you see Karen? Did you see Karen? Oh, no.
I have a niece. She's the second one in the family. And you know, she told me a few years ago, she said, "Oh, Arlene, when Angela finished college, you took her on a trip." Angela's my oldest niece. And when Ricky did something, you did something, you never took me on a trip. Okay, Karen, that's you. So she's now a young,
Deputy Athletic Director. Oh, sorry.
you know, y'all talk about me being bossy. She's now, I know we're in Georgia, but she is the Deputy Athletic Director for the University of Alabama. Ms. Dr. Karen Lee, my folks stress education. And when we talk about the Savannah State, I graduated from Savannah State. Lil graduated from Savannah State. Bunny graduated from Savannah State. And Sarah graduated from Savannah State. So 4 of the 5 girls, and the 5th girl was Jackie, who attended Morristown College. And she's the one who passed away 2 years ago. So unless there's somebody else you want me, did I get everybody? Did I get everybody pretty much? No? Yes? Okay. It's like, y'all ready to go home? No, again, and Meg, thank you for coming out and sitting on Dana. Because I know he was on his best behavior because you were here. So thank you all so much. Have a good night. I love you. And there's nothing you can do about it.
So, now she said she didn't cry, right? But there was a lot of snot coming out of that nose, so. Stay tuned for January 1st. Earlene Wesley Davis' book, Everything You Want to Know About Everybody in Savannah, coming out soon. And finally, when I say God bless, you say, Earlene, God bless. Earlene. God bless. Earlene. God bless. Earlene. Good night, everybody. Thank you all so much. So that's what I was doing tonight, y'all. This is why I was here. Y'all see Linda Waller Bryant? Dietrich Leggett. So that's what I was doing, which is right. Y'all know I don't miss Friday Night Live for nobody. So we had to go live anyway. So
I commented, we all here.
That's right. We did that for Earlene because Earlene is our girl. So she's retired, and you know I was asked to MC, so that's why I'm here with her. So, but anyway, that does it for Friday Night Live. We're here celebrating with Earlene Wesley Davis on her retirement. Lil Earlene. Lil Earlene. Oh. Tell her come on with it. But thank you all so much. This is week number 200, and I think it's 223 weeks of Friday Night Live. Thank you for joining us. I didn't get a chance to do some shout-outs. I didn't get a chance to do it, but looking forward, as always, to seeing you all doing what you do. God bless you all. Good night. Peace.